Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me this morning. My name is Tonisha Cohen-King, and I am here to talk to you today about mental health awareness and the importance of mental health awareness. Today, I would like to spend some time increasing awareness and understanding around mental health by discussing some of the most common mental health challenges, what signs and symptoms may look like, the connection between mental health and physical health, and ways people can begin healing and accessing support, and how we as family members, friends, and church communities can better support one another. Mental health affects all of us in some way, whether we are personally experiencing challenges ourselves or know someone who is. Yet, despite how common mental health challenges are, many people still struggle and suffer in silence because of shame, fear, misunderstanding, and stigma. Sometimes when people hear the term mental illness, they immediately think of severe mental illnesses such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or psychotic disorders. But mental health also includes how we handle stress, how we process emotions, how we cope with difficult experiences, how we maintain our relationships, and how we care for ourselves emotionally and physically. Mental health is just as important as physical health. But many people are more likely to seek help for physical symptoms while ignoring emotional distress. The reality is, mental health and physical health are deeply connected. Mental and emotional distress can sometimes present through what we call somatic symptoms, meaning emotional and psychological concerns begin to show up physically in the body. This is why it's so important that we normalize seeking support for our mental and emotional well being, just like we do for our physical health. It's important to note that our daily habits also have a significant impact on both our mental and physical health. The food we eat, the amount of rest we get, the physical movement that we have, the stress management, and healthy social connections, all of these play an important role in emotional well being. So when we have poor nutrition, when we are sleep deprived, when we have limited physical activity, all of this can affect our mood negatively. It can affect the way we focus. It have an impact on our energy levels and our mental clarity. This further shows how connected our physical and mental health truly is. As a licensed clinical social worker and therapist, some of the most common mental health concerns I work with include stress, anxiety, depression, and trauma related disorders. Many people that I serve and I see, they continue going to work, they continue caring for their families, showing up for others, and attending church while silently struggling with these challenges every day. As we know, stress is something that we all experience. While some stress is normal, ongoing stress, also referred to as chronic stress, can begin to affect both the mind and body. It can impact our sleep, our concentration, our mood, energy levels, our relationships, and our overall health. Many people experiencing chronic stress also report headaches, exhaustion, irritability, muscle tension, and feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Over time, chronic stress can also contribute to anxiety. And anxiety is more than just your occasional worry. It can look like racing thoughts, constantly overthinking, negative thought patterns, which can lead to panic attacks, difficulty relaxing, avoidance of both people and places, feeling easily overwhelmed, or constantly feeling on edge. Anxiety also shows up in the body. It can show up physically through chest tightness, rapid heartbeat, stomach issues, shortness of breath. All of these somatic symptoms show up. Depression is another common mental health concern, and it affects a lot of people. It affects how a person thinks, feels, and functions in their daily life. Depression is more than just feeling down or having a bad day. Symptoms can include persistent sadness, lasting for most days for a total of 2 weeks or more. Depression looks like loss of interest in activities once enjoyed, changes in sleep or appetite, difficulty concentrating, fatigue, feelings of hopelessness, isolation, or difficulty making decisions. Some people may continue to function outwardly, while internally experiencing significant emotional distress. This is sometimes referred to as high functioning or functional depression, where a person may still go to work, church, they may still care for others, they may still be able to manage their responsibilities, all while quietly struggling emotionally. Because mental health symptoms like depression can present differently from person to person, it is important to recognize both common and less obvious signs of emotional distress. Not everyone expresses emotional pain in the same way. Sometimes depression may present as anger, irritability, emotional withdrawal, or lack of motivation that may be misunderstood or mislabeled as laziness. Looking beyond surface behaviors and trying to understand what may be happening underneath can make a significant difference. In some cases, may even save a life. Another important area that needs greater understanding is trauma. Trauma can result from childhood experiences, grief, loss, domestic violence, medical diagnosis or issues, accidents, community violence, discrimination, racism, or other deeply distressing experiences. Many people think trauma only affects someone immediately after the event has happened, but trauma can continue affecting a person long afterward. Trauma responses can look different for everyone. Some people may become withdrawn or emotionally disconnected, while others may become hyper alert, reactive, anxious, angry, or emotionally overwhelmed. Some may struggle with trust, sleep problems. They may isolate. They may have flashbacks. Some people acquire people pleasing behavior. All of these things can look like trauma. And so when we see someone exhibiting these behaviors, we have to understand that these trauma responses are survival responses. Some people are constantly feeling unsafe, even when there's no immediate danger. The mind and the body often adapt in an attempt to protect the person after overwhelming or distressing experiences. What may appear to others as troubling, confusing, or unhealthy behaviors can sometimes be rooted in the body and mind trying to stay safe after a traumatic event. So, after telling you all these things, I want to offer some hope. And the good news is that healing and support, they're available. Mental health conditions are treatable and people do recover. Support groups, mindfulness practices, medication management, faith communities, and strong support systems can all play an important role in recovery, healing, and emotional well-being. Therapy can help individuals begin healing by providing a safe space to process emotions, experiences, and life challenges while developing healthier coping skills and improving emotional awareness. Just as therapy can provide a safe space for healing and support, the church can also play a powerful role in creating environments where people feel supported emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Faith and therapy do not have to compete with one another. Prayer, community support, and professional mental health care can work together in the healing process. As family members, friends, and church communities, we can support people by listening without judgment, checking in on one another, offering encouragement, and reducing stigma surrounding mental health treatment. One way we can acquire the skills to do this is by learning mental health first aid. Mental health first aid teaches people how to recognize signs of mental health challenges, respond appropriately, and connect individuals to support and resources. Just as many people learn CPR to respond to physical emergencies, mental health first aid helps people learn how to respond to emotional or mental health crises. They respond with confidence, with compassion and understanding, not with judgment. There are many different ways people can begin healing, and recovery is not always limited to traditional talk therapy alone. Movement and physical activity can play an important role in recovery, especially for individuals who have experienced trauma. Trauma is not only stored in the mind, it can also be stored in the body. Healing from trauma is not always about repeatedly retelling traumatic experiences. Sometimes constantly revisiting painful experiences without the proper support or coping tools can feel emotionally overwhelming, even re-triggering for some individuals. Practices such as walking, stretching, yoga, dancing, and other forms of movement can help release the stress, the trauma. It can improve emotional regulation and support the healing process. So we can create walking groups, wellness groups, movement activities. You can do all this within the church. You could do it with your family and friends or within your community. This can be a meaningful way to encourage connection, reduce isolation, and support emotional wellness. Creating spaces where people feel safe to connect, to move, and to support one another can have a powerful impact on emotional healing, overall well-being, and develop a sense of community. We have to remember that seeking help is not a weakness. Seeking help is not a sign that you do not trust God and that you don't have faith. Seeking help is a right. It's an act of strength, healing, and self-awareness. So I want to offer you ways to connect to resources. If someone is interested in mental health first aid training or information on the courses, it can be found on their website at Mental Health First Aid USA. If someone is looking for a therapist, a helpful resource is Psychology Today. If you go to that website, it allows individuals to search for therapists by location, by your insurance type, by a specialty, and a treatment approach. You can go on Psychology Today and you can put in Christian counselor. Somebody will come up for you. I can also be found on Psychology Today under Tonisha Cohen-King, LCSW. I offer virtual and in-person services. My office is located in Stratford, Connecticut. So I offered you a number of resources that you all can tap into. And like I said, it doesn't always look like talk therapy, but some kind of approach to healing is necessary. We can just not pray away a mental illness. There are resources out there, God-ordained resources out there. So thank you again for taking the time to have this important conversation and for helping create communities where people feel safe, seeking support, healing, and hope. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to either do another video or come to speak to you in person. Thank you.